All right, guys, welcome back. This is HF Pod. We're living the dream here at HF Pod. Wouldn't you say, Brian, Megan?
I would agree with that.
100%.
We're living the dream, but it's also the life beyond the dream. So I don't know if we're in the dream or we're beyond the dream, but we might be on clouds that are made of dreams.
I just
Maybe
saw a
that's the
black
next-
stallion riding through the night. So
A curtain is blowing over here. It's amazing. It's really beautiful.
There's something happening on Pillow Jets of Sound, but we're so happy to be here with our next draft episode. Like it says in the description, this is all about friendship and fun, as all of our drafts are. So we're excited to do this. It's all, like they always say, it's really just about the friends you made along the way. It's not about who wins or who loses.
Yeah, I would agree with that with regards to drafts. I don't know if I'd agree with that with regards to fish, but you guys do you.
Yeah, the drafts are just all about fun, and especially when you don't win them all, they're just all about fun.
That's it. Yeah. When you come in second or even third place, it's all about, did I have a good time today? And that's what I think every time I finish an episode. I think, was that a good episode? Did I have a good time? Did I connect with my friends? And if the answer is yes, I feel good about it, regardless what happened, regardless what the comments were, regardless what the voicemail said about my favorite era of fish history, regardless what jams Meg takes. I just feel good because I know I had fun with my friends.
Yeah, so and I made sure to ask Brian which shows he owns before we started this draft, so I know like which ones belong to him. So I know which shows I can't take. Yeah,
I don't own anything, Meg. It's all about strategy, and it's all about how you want to win and how you want your friends to feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's all about feelings, I guess.
I guess I didn't get that. I guess I must have missed that call from Meg asking me. I must have had my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Well, RJ, you just haven't been giving me a hard enough time apparently about taking your jams in drafts. Yeah.
Whatever. Brian, do you have some thoughts?
I just don't ever remember Megan talking about the 914.99 ACDC bag before our last draft. Do you guys can anyone out there in our listeners, can you reference for me, screenshot a moment that Meg tweeted about or talked about on a podcast, the 914.99 ACDC bag before the last draft? That would just be very helpful.
So I have to have a historical record of thinking about this draft jam to pick it in a draft. What happened, Brian, was that I actually did a bunch of research and realized like this is fucking phenomenal jam, and I think I need to have it in this category. It's just as simple as that.
Sure. It's kind of the downside, Brian, of organizing, curating, synthesizing information for people who might not have the time or interest or wherewithal to do it themselves. You provide a service, and one of the downsides is that people might steal your ideas.
Like
just putting it out there.
Military plans. They're like, all right, hey, we already read it. We already read The Art of War. We know what you're going to do.
Next year, I'm going to be like, Brian, why am I not on the 2025 Fish Best of Note? I'm going to get like not allowed on it. If that happens, I'm going to
start sending separate copies to RJ and then referencing them in the draft. Here we go. We got it. We got it. You guys ready for this?
Let's go.
So first we got to hear from a friend of the pod who called in. As always, we want to hear from you. You can leave a voicemail. I'll even tell you the phone number. 484-416-0488. That's what we call the hotline. It's called the HF Pod hotline, probably. We're going to listen to this quick voicemail. Everyone's still loving our series. So let's just let's just keep let's keep these good vibes going that we got in the chat today. It's all good. It's all good, Brian. It's all good.
I'm great.
Everyone's so happy and positive. It's great.
So good.
Hey guys, this is Dan. Just wanted to say, love the show. I've been listening for a couple of years. It's a great way. It's usually for me a Friday or Saturday night just to kind of relax into the weekend. And just really love, the friendship you guys clearly have, the easiness together, and just really you could tell there's an enjoyment. So thank you for that. I wanted to comment on Top 25. I loved it. It actually inspired me to do a live fish release winter 94 tour, which has been awesome. So I'm doing, Boone, Spartanburg. I'm actually on the virtual I-95 up to Glen Falls as we speak. But the piece that is most intriguing to me is I loved RJ's reflection on 2003. I feel definitely it's one or two. That whole year is just incredible. So I'm definitely here for you, Matt, and Brian. I know both love that year. In my mind, like I said, it could be number one. I mean, you got that Camden twist is amazing, but that Sense and Subtle Sounds, which I probably listen to at least once a week, is kind of a perfect encapsulation of that year. It's, you know, that dark, that mean, that angry, emotional. I love Trey's screamer tone. But I think the big argument for it is just how exploratory that year is. You know, I think this year more than any others really deeply explores jamming. And, you know, that's the heart of this band, as we know. It's got kind of this free and searching and kind of seeking nature to it that I love. And then the other thing, too, which I'm sure you guys have picked up on, is I feel this is one of the few years where Gordon kind of locks into a lot of grooves on jams. You know, that Charlotte Bathtub, the Miami Piper, which is insane. There's a really good Sneak and Sally from Noblesville. I love the Inglewood Bathtub. You know, so I mean, there's so many good jams at Nassau, which I was actually at that show. I've probably been to about 40 shows, and not because of drugs, but I honestly can remember like 4 or 5 moments for some reason. But I vividly remember that tweezer, you know, looking over at my brother's friend and just being amazed. And still to this day, I don't remember if my first show was December of '95, shockingly, or I know I went to Clifford Ball. So anyway, but I thought I'd share. I love the show. Can't wait for next episodes, and love that the 2003 sort of appreciation is building and growing. So thanks again, guys. Really love it. Bye-bye.
So guys, thank you for that voicemail.
Wow.
We
What a great
appreciate it.
voicemail.
And you know
are you guys sure you didn't like AI chatbot me and just like replay it as a joke?
Totally.
That was amazing.
No,
that
it
was
was awesome.
amazing.
But Brian, before
my
you get
God.
all caught up in 2003 reflection, let's just remember what
trying
the first thing he said, which is that, you know what he loves? He loves our friendship, you know? And that's why we're here. It's all about fun and friendship.
I love our friendship.
So all right. Do we need to talk about anything? Oh, I know. We just announced
Can
some
I just
reprise
thank our
shows.
caller for that amazing
Yeah, well, I already did. But
voicemail
yeah,
and-
go ahead, please.
I didn't. First and foremost, totally got the vibe of 2003 and didn't bring in his own personal emotions and life at the time. Like just focused on the music. That is it. That's it right there. My guy. Referenced 2 jams from 7:30 2003. Another way to my heart. Reference the Miami Piper, that show opener on 12:29. The riff that Trey plays around like 12:35. Whoo. Anyone who wants to talk about that year as though it's sloppy, just listen to how he nails that, and it's so fast. Oh, it's amazing. What else did he talk about? Oh, he talked about what he said. This is the last thing I'll say that I really find fascinating. I know 5-6 people who were at 22803. Every single one of them has the same thing to say, that they remembered like clear as day the tweezer, and the rest of the show is kind of this like fog because it was all so good. There's like very, very, very little video evidence that show happened online. There's like 15 seconds of the walls of the cave peak. The rest of it, like you just wouldn't even know it actually happened. So really cool to hear that. Great caller. More of those, please, RJ. Okay, more of those.
I love that you said that he didn't bring his personal
I know.
emotions to it. He just talked about the music, but he just talked the whole time about all the shows he saw with his friends and all the good times he had with his friends and his brother.
Hey, who among us
Everybody
has
hears something
slipped up
different.
and brought an attendance bias?
I'm just saying. We all hear different things. That's the whole beauty of music. Okay.
I also appreciate that he like can't remember certain very specific things, but can remember certain moments. I feel like that defines so many of our fish like memories, how some things can be so clear and some things you don't even remember, things that you should definitely remember. It's weird.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, what else? Okay, we got reprise shows coming up, guys. We got January 23rd at Pembroke, Mass. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there with the co-host of Always Almost There, Neil, which is going to be awesome.
Sweet. I'm jealous.
The next day, the January 24th is Bridgeport, Connecticut, Park City Music Hall. I think Megan's going to be there. Tom will be there. Some other friends. The next night, Sunday, in Newmarket, New Hampshire at Stone Church on the 25th. And then we have March 6th at Off the Rails in Worcester. March 7th in Saratoga Springs at Putnam Place. March 8th, our first New York City show, Brooklyn Bowl, New York. And then on the 9th, it's going to be really close to me, New Hope, PA, Dharma Bums. If anyone knows the Vic, Steve Vickner, he helped hook that up, which is cool. So 4 shows in March, 3 shows in January. That's the number of shows that the band played in all of 2024. So we're kicking off strong in the year, and I'm still trying to convince myself that I am going to see Brian Brinkman in March. I'm convincing
That would
myself.
be a dream.
We're trying.
What I will say is that I want to make a personal plea to all of my New York friends that we want to see you at this Brooklyn Bowl show. We should pack this. Like, come out. It's going to be so fun. It would mean a lot to me, to RJ, and the whole Osiris family. So I'm hoping to see you all there.
EV dude here with a killer recommendation.
Ooh.
29.98. That is a show. Quite a 2001 in that show.
As always, there are, so many possibilities on the table for that New York show, but I think that's in the mix for sure. It's fun.
I've played a couple shows in New York.
They have. And
Yeah.
actually, you know what, Brian, I don't know if I can officially say this, but I think I can, that we are going to next week, our next episode is going to be talking about a show that Reprise will be playing this coming tour. And we're going to have Scott from Reprise on to talk about that show with us. So that's going to be fun. That was Brian's idea. Good idea, Brian.
Thanks, guys. Really excited about that one. Are we able to announce the show, or do we need to surprise everyone next week?
I don't think we've announced them yet. We'll announce it next week.
Okay.
Awesome.
Or in the lead up.
So
Okay.
we're just going to describe the music, not actually say what.
No. No. We will
And people have to
announce. How about this? When we announce the next episode date and time with the stream and everything, like Megan does so amazingly professionally every time,
Incredibly well.
we will tell them what the show is.
Perfect.
It's a deal.
Okay. Great. Okay. Brian, what are we doing here?
So this is our 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th draft, guys. This idea
Wow.
came to HF Pod by way of one of our shared favorite podcasts out there, The Big Picture, where we draft a bunch of random fish stuff. And we thought that in lieu of a 2024 recap, because we would probably spend 3 hours just gushing about a top 10 tour of all time, we decided to incorporate the draft, bring a little bit of competition in here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories: Mexico, Sphere, Summer Tour, meaning Great Woods through Bethel, Mondegreen, Dick's, Albany, and MSG. Same rules apply as previous drafts. We're going to do a dice roll here in a second to figure out the order. Snake draft format: first, second, third, second, first, second, third, second, first, so on and so forth. You pick a show from a category. Once you've done that, you are done in that category. At the end of this, we will go through all of our picks. We'll send it out to the world, and we'll see which host won the draft. What I would say to listeners out there, just take into account your own taste, the fish.net score, the amount of jams that you re-listen to, any Apple notes that rank jams in certain order and shows in certain order and where they have it. I would take a lot into account here. I wouldn't just go with oh, well, they've got that one show, so that means they won. The fun thing about these drafts is the strategy behind it and picking out your lineup of music.
Oh my God. Why do these things make me so nervous? Go ahead,
Go
they just
ahead.
kill me.
Yeah.
My
I know.
whole
This
life.
is part of your shtick. This is
No, it's not.
here comes Megan's shtick. Go ahead.
Here it is. Megan with the disclaimer that she's nervous.
I'm going to tell you,
Jesus
I
Christ.
started acting when I was 5 years old, and
Yeah,
all
we
the way
can tell.
until I stopped acting when I was 27, I was always terrified every time I got on stage, and I'm terrified every time we start a draft. And it's not a shtick, even though you both say it is. It's terrifying to me. So let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, wow.
We're keeping
What
the
a day.
gaslighting banner in for
What a day.
all future usage. All right. So
What a day.
It's a permanent
First-
banner now.
First step here.
Oh
This is
my
gonna be
This is
fun, guys.
unbelievable.
So again, we're talking 2024 shows. Any shows that happen in 2024, 7 categories: MSG, Mexico Sphere, Summer Tour, Mondegreen, Dick's, Albany, MSG. We'll go through this. RJ is going to share the screen here shortly so that you guys can see what we're
Yes.
picking as it's happening.
Yes.
He is. Megan, since you won the last draft, please pick a number between 1 and 6.
2.
RJ, since you came in second, please pick a number between 1 and 6, not counting 2.
6.
Okay. And I'm going to pick 4. So we're going to go in even numbers here. We'll roll the first die. Okay. We'll see who is going at first. This is best without going over. And how interesting is that? I have the first pick.
We
That-
should
that's
definitely
nice.
see this dice. We should
Sec-
definitely
sec-
see this dice.
Second pick. Stop this. It's on Google.
It's on Google.
RJ has the second pick. Megan
Fuck.
has the turn. All right. So I'm
Okay.
going first here. Seen a couple messages in the comments about what show has to be picked. It's not rigged. It's not rigged. This is a totally legitimate process. I have gone second and third in many drafts. This is just the way that the cookie crumbles right now. So I think that there's a very clear number 1 here. Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Just
go
do
from
it.
the Mondegreen field, and I'm going to go with 8:15. I think this is one of the 5 best shows of the overall year. And I had some pretty significant concerns about picking second or third in the Mondegreen section. So I think you have this combination of an incredibly huge show, opening on Mondegreen, massive jams throughout the second set, near perfect set 1 with huge songs that jammed in really unique ways. I feel good about this. I'm going 8:15. What are you guys' thoughts, Meg? I'll turn to you immediately.
I mean, best show of the festival for sure. Amazing show. Just flow of the set list. Everything was played perfectly that day. Light and dark themes equally well. Diversity of jamming. You've got it all. It's amazing. What's going through your mind? Chalk dust, light, that cross-eyed, everything. Great. Very good pick. I like it. For you.
Thank you. I really appreciate your support here. RJ, what are your thoughts? I share what you just said, Meg.
I'm surprised and delighted for you.
I thought you were
just-
going to do something different, I have to say.
I know you
Yeah.
did. I totally know
I
you
think
did.
it's great.
I have this mapped out exactly the plan I want to execute here. I feel pretty good about this. The second set, I'm just looking at it on paper. Sorry. What's going through your mind? Chalk Dust Light, the Caspian Jams, Cross-Eyed. Cross-Eyed did this thing in 2024 where
So good.
it dropped late in the second set in every appearance that it had. And every time it dropped in an already great set. So it took a great set and elevated it.
Yes.
And in most cases, it jammed. Like this version's great. The version from Dick's was great. Then a Lonely Trip and everything's right. Come on. And then you get to saw it again in the encore. What a
Yeah.
show. At this point, after this show, I renamed my tier 1 shows the Monda tier.
You did.
I would go ahead and change that a little bit later, but this show, we were at such a high at this point in time.
That was a magical first night.
Truly was. RJ, do you want to share the draft screen? so that everyone can see it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
It's
Hold
a
on.
good thing.
I need to pull it up first.
Or do you want to
Fine.
see our reactions as this goes on? Because
I just think, both. Hold on, let me pull up draft. And I don't even have it in front of me because, who needs it? Hold on. One sec. Everyone just chill. All right. In the meantime, let's take a deep breath and move on.
yeah,
Should we?
This is your pick. man.
Yeah, make your pick. Let's go.
All right. Well, maybe I will. But Brian, you're notating. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got
So, this was a hard one. I think that there's a couple directions you can go here, but I think I'm going to choose a show that is I think I'm going to go with was it a tour opener? Yeah, the tour opener. I'm going to choose 4-7 from The Cap as my first pick. I think they come out of the gate. Absolutely incredible
great
first show with Cotter.
Great show.
I mean, so many jams that we're going to be listening to for years.
Goose has fixed everything. Everything. It was
Oh my
amazing
gosh,
show.
that was amazing.
Sorry, guys.
RJ, when you
Sorry.
said that, all of a sudden I was like, did I miss a fucking category? Like 4-7? What?
Sorry,
I don't have
guys.
anything in that category.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
30-minute drive, like 3 or 4
30-minute
songs
drive.
per
Oh
show.
my god,
that's how
that
you
show
do
is
it. That's
so
how you do it.
exciting.
Another
the giant
Cap
welcome
drive.
Cotter sign.
Another Cap
fucking great
drive.
vibes.
Another Cap drive. Okay, but for real. Yeah.
That was a good joke. That made me laugh.
Thank
That
you.
was good.
Thank
That
you.
was
I'm
very
glad
Yeah.
that was-
long and even tempered. It was great. I love
Delivered
you.
well.
Thank
Yes.
you guys. Thank you. Okay. So, but for real, I think am I gonna do this? Yeah, I think I am. Okay. I'm gonna take 8:30 with my first pick.
Fuck.
There you go. It's a good pick.
Fuck.
I think this has
That
to happen
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
That's pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually listened to this again, coincidentally or not, yesterday. And can I just say a little bit about like what we were talking about on the chat about the sound of this year? Because
Yeah. Let's
Please.
do it.
I think we should. First of all, I just want to say there's a lot of bliss in 2024. So I want people who are like, like Weird Fish is awesome, which it's true, and there's a lot of it this year. But there are these points in both the Chalk Dust and the Sand from 8:30 that are just so, they sound different than like a typical like build toward a bliss peak, and a lot of it is like after a peak where all the more interesting stuff happens. But both these jams, they're like kind of similar but like very different in terms of how they use the peak to then like go onward after the peak, which I just think is so fun. But they're two like very complicated and amazing jams, and then there's this Ruby Waves right after it. It's just like the combination of these three.
It's insane.
Like you can hear the continuity, but they're all so different. And
Yeah.
I think it's the show of the run.
Yeah, this is the right pick. I think the Chalk Dust, the way they deconstruct the sound and go down to almost silence, and then they build it up to this huge peak. Like you said, the Ruby Waves has like a demented Gaiudi jam around 12 minutes.
So wild.
And the Sand is completely contained, but is some of the coolest jamming within Type 1 I think I've ever heard them do. They bring it so quiet again, and Mike is just like riding that bass line, and then it gets so heavy as they move up to the peak. It's awesome. And then you cap it off with What's the Use, Possum, Everything's Right. Like that's 80 minutes of incredibly high quality Fish. Maybe. Oh, and then we get a fee in a 27-minute You Enjoy Myself in the encore. That's one of the best shows I've ever seen.
I think this is a contender for show of the year. I mean, this is just a perfect show. The first set is fantastic. Like you've got like a really interesting Type 1 jamming and Hello Stranger. You've got the Gula kind of bust out. There's a little micro jam and steam. And then, yeah, you have like a masterpiece of a second set. That Sand, it's a little bit overshadowed by the Chalk Dust and the Ruby Waves, but yeah, it's so delicate and breathy, and like they just float there. There's just like no rush to leave. I absolutely love it. I was just listening to this set again this week, and it blew my mind. It's really fucking amazing show. I'm glad you were there for it, Brian.
That Sand is one of the
Thanks, man.
jams where it's not that long, but the Sand is one of the jams where like if I 8 minutes in or something, I forget what song it is, which is as we discussed, like for me at least, that's like a big indicator of something interesting. And I feel like for Sand, it's just they really get out there. It's awesome.
I totally agree. This is, when I think about the Chalk Dust and Ruby Waves, this is like our ongoing conversation about new sounds versus new structure. This is what I think about when I think about the argument in favor of like, they don't have many new sounds to go after, but like the structure they're messing with. And you hear that like just very unique approaches to the jam here. in all three of these. So great pick. Curious though, because buddy Chris mentioned RJ getting 830 is like getting the Providence Bowie. It bodes well on paper, but we'll see what the voters think. Mondegreen Woodlands Jam has made promises to lower gas prices. I think Mondegreen Woodlands Jam came from 816. Is that right? That show's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still out there. No, don't know if I'll pick it.
There is such a push to get me to take this, and I cannot tell if it is just them trying to fucking force me to lose this draft. If the listeners could see our text chain, it's like Brian just telling me how great 816 is over and over again, and I just don't buy it. I feel like it's like some sort of like fucked up manipulation way of like trying to get me to pick this.
Fucked up manipulation.
It's actually like working because now I'm not gonna do it. Like,
oh my
I don't
God.
know.
What
Kill
about
Devil Falls Jam in set 1? Peaches, that I think was a mini bust out.
are we talking about a show that hasn't even been picked yet?
Great 2.
Yes.
Great Reba twist in set 1. And then set 2, you got a My Friend with a little bit of a jam. That Ruby, Pillow Jets, Your Pet Cat, Ruby, Ghost, No Men's. That segment rules. What are you talking? And then the Woodlands Jam? Oh my God.
But Megan,
It
don't
was a good
forget
show.
about the Fuego Encore on Sunday.
That was Nightfall.
I mean,
That's right.
that's
I'm probably gonna pick that.
that's what I'm
show. It's my-
saying. You don't want to pass that show up.
you know.
That's a very good point. It's a very good point, RJ.
Listen, if Chris is comparing getting 830 to getting the Providence Bowie, then like it
You'll
all
take
ends
it.
there for me. Sounds great. The
Exactly, done.
best fish jam of all time. Great. Done.
Perfect. Done.
Game over.
Great.
All right. Go ahead.
All
man.
right. We have talked for about 25 minutes and we are 2 picks into this. Meg, you have 2 picks on the table. You can even the score if you pick correctly here.
If I pick correctly.
Let's see what you do.
It's funny because just giving you a little peek behind the curtain, I really tend to think about with my strategy, do you want to just get the best from each category or do you want to pick the categories that are less deep and get the best one out of that if they're not as deep? And I kind of struggle between those two ideas. Like, do I want to have the stronger shows from certain categories or do I want to pick a category that's not as deep so that I don't get stuck with a lesser one? And with my picks, I've decided to plant my flag firmly in one of those camps. So my first pick is a show that contains what I think could be the jam of the year, and that is the 223 from Mexico.
Good pick.
I just think that
Wow.
this show's amazing. Obviously, the whole first quarter is super strong. Set Your
Mhm.
Soul Free, Ghost, both jam. Into Fast Enough for You, anytime, all the time, yes. Great Evolve. And then you've got this fantastic 46 Days, really textured jam, really dramatic peak. Driving wild Kill Devil Falls with Trey just like wailing at the end. And then you've got this Chalk Dust. It's definitely a contender for Jam of the Year. It is a masterpiece. So I feel like I
Yeah.
want to have that show.
I think I have that as my second favorite fish show I've ever seen. So good pick.
Are you serious? That's
on brand.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that show's got everything. You're absolutely right. There's not a, like if you broke the show up into like 4 quarters, there's not like a single segment of the show where I wouldn't want to, like where I'd want to go to the bathroom instead of listening. Like
Yeah.
even the night before that had the Great Wave of Hope, had a My Soul in it where I was like, I'm done. I'm going to the bathroom.
That's a great show too, though.
This show is just like, it's packed. Great pick. And really, really on brand, getting my second show ever.
Yeah.
My
Yep.
second favorite show
Yeah.
ever.
That's
Yeah.
my new strategy. Just like, what would Brian want? And then I'll just take it.
It's the
That's it.
ACDC bag of the draft here. We got one.
It is. Yeah,
We
we
got
got
the
it
Boise
already.
bag.
I mean, you went for my heart at Mondegreen. And so, I'm going to take where you were. Like, you picked a show I was at, and I'm picking a show
I was
you
just
were at.
going for one of the
Seems
best
fair.
shows of the year in
Yeah.
a slightly less great category. So, but you
Exactly.
can take it personally, however you. It's okay. I mean, I'm here to tell you how to interpret
Well, nobody can take my second pick personally. How about that?
it.
Because none of you were at this show. And I don't know if this is the right pick, but I think it's the strongest by far out of this category. And so I want to have it. I'm going to pick the 730 from St. Louis out of the summer tour category. This is a perfect show. They play
Mhm.
this perfect show the first time they're back in St. Louis in 5 years. It's the highlights in my notes say everything. There's like a great Jabu The Ocelot's great, got a theme, timbre, everything had like a little extra mustard in set one.
Yeah.
And then the flow of the show is just like, and set two is just a perfect set of fish. It's anchored by this monster tweezer jam, the 8th longest of all time, and just a high energy send off at the end. And it's my second pick.
I think that's an outstanding pick.
Wow.
That was my number one pick for summer tour, with good reason, with everything that you said. That second set is magical, and the first set just has like little nuggets everywhere. That's an outstanding pick.
Thanks.
Wow. That's amazing. No, I'm just, it's a great show. Both of the summer tour is so good. It's really,
That's what I'm
there's
saying.
like
It's so good. There's so many
Oh,
good
man.
shows. But that one
Well,
to
and
me
they
is
just
like,
played that 40-minute simple, and I think that this tweezer has a lot more going on that like I want to re-listen to. Ether Edge, like there's so much in there. It's a great pick.
Yeah. I think there's like a solid tier of summer shows that are all kind of equal greatness.
Agree.
And then, so anyway, okay.
Good start, Meg. Whew. It's gonna be
Thanks,
hard to compete with
everybody.
that, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
guys too.
especially with the PR machine we got behind her.
I mean,
All right.
you both picked things that were on my ideal list. So I'll say that. We'll see what my audience thinks about it. But as RJ likes to refer to everybody that listens to this show, that you've been on for 11 years, but I'm sure it's
they're
just they
tired
all
of me.
belong to me now. Yeah.
They're tired of me.
of you.
They're sick of it.
You saw
my
how they
God.
all attacked him after the Bowie comment in Alpine 2022. He's got no
It's true.
defenders left.
Oh my God. All right. This is a tough one. Okay. I'm going to take the second night of Grand Rapids with Billy Strings. Just kidding. I'm going to take the last.
It's so good.
Sorry.
Archie's
I
just on
almost-
one today.
I
was
almost
rude.
celebrated. Thank you. That was
rude.
good.
That was rude of me. I'm sorry. I'm going to take the best show that I saw last year and the most recent show that I saw last year,
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Nice
which is
pick.
1229.
Yep.
It just, I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about it in the moment, Meg and I did, but I also thought every version of every song in the moment was the best version I ever heard, which is a good sign. But they're like legitimately really good versions of Caspian and of AC/DC
Yes.
Bag and Runaway Jim, all in the
Jim,
first
mhm.
set. I don't know that, and then of course there's the, I would argue that the second set is can we just call it a 4-song set, because Waste is in the middle there and Bathtub Gin doesn't really count because it's kind of short. Let's call it a 4-song
Yes,
set.
we can.
One of those things has
Oh.
to be true, right?
I don't think you can do that, but I'll let you guys do it if you want.
I thought that
I'm not going to do it.
I thought personally, I thought that Ruby Waves was like the most out there jam that I had heard this year, certainly in person, but also at the time,
Yeah.
I as mentioned previously, I was very lost many times, but the Monsters was awesome, and then that's like Runaway Jim, and then You Enjoy Myself, which we definitely thought was ending the set, into a Ghost that was
We sure did.
really ripping. That first set was awesome, and then you have this Ruby Waves and Fuego and the Cross-Eyed to end that second set, which the Ruby Waves is just like, I think that's going to end up being one of the 5 jams of the year that people go back to, because there's like a lot going on there, and I'm still trying to figure it all out. So I want to have that
100%. That show was definitely one of my favorite shows I saw this year, and it was spectacular, and especially because I got to spend it with you, RJ. That was so fun. We had so much fun. Every time a song would end in the first set, RJ would be like, I think that was the best thing they did all year. And I'd be like, yeah, me too.
Listen,
You're right.
I told you
RJ.
guys.
So fun.
I told you guys this yesterday to be a text, and you did not know because you both exclamation marked my text, which I think meant that you were surprised, which is that I only saw 3 shows last year, and that's the fewest shows I've seen since the year 2000.
That's
So, like,
wild.
That's wild.
Yeah.
When I go to Fish shows, I'm there and I'm ready. And I was ready that day. I was ready. I'm
You were ready.
still ready.
You were ready, and we had a great time. We did it right. I'm proud of us.
Actually, you know what? I only saw one show in 2000, and that was the Radio City, one of the Radio City shows. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
a pretty good one to see.
That was
Yeah.
an outstanding show.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was great, but
Really
I can't believe I
outstanding
didn't-
show.
I was in college. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why would I not see more Fish shows?
I know.
It's my only regret in life is not seeing more Fish shows during college, because really, like,
Same.
what else are you doing? What are you really doing?
Well, I tried that, but they broke up. So we all couldn't be so lucky as to have the choice. Yeah, that show, like the Caspian and the Runaway Jim were the huge moments. But like for me, and I'm sure you guys felt this better being in the room, when the vocal jam of You and Joe Myself turned into Ghost, I let out an audible like scream from my couch. So much so that my kids came running into the room, and like I was like, they never do this. That was such a cool moment, and I was like, there's something going on there. They feel it. I'm sure you guys felt that being in the room during that.
Yeah, I bet it was amazing in the room when that happened.
Yep, I was,
I was
in
in
the
a room,
room.
but it was a bathroom.
there were walls in between the room that
Yeah.
I was in. and the
I
room
told
that
you
it
guys,
was
I
happening.
literally thought they were playing like piped in music when I was like, why are they playing like a Ghost in the bathroom? And then I was like, wait, is this actually happening? What's happening? And then I had to like run out.
Why?
Yeah.
What? Think about the odds of a 45
46
second
It doesn't make sense.
vocal jam. 0.0000. There's either like 2 minutes is short. All right. Anyway, okay, Brian, you're up.
I'm up. I have 2 picks.
Oh, damn, you have 2 picks now? Wow.
Yeah, I'm on the turn, Meg. I
Called a
am
snake draft.
trying- Yep.
I
Have you
never
done one of these
understand.
before?
No, I never know what's coming in these. I never know it's going to be my turn. It's very exciting.
This is
every
another
time.
part of Megan's shtick.
You
is
never
mine is
know.
being
I don't know
confused.
anything that's going on. I don't know what's
Don't know what's
happening.
happening.
What's going on? What are we doing?
my
Who are we
pick?
talking
Oh.
about here today? Can I take the 6-8 Madhavan, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh, it's my pick. Let
Ah.
me rip your heart out.
Oh my God, you guys are
Um,
so sore. I just hope I smoke you again.
Oh, really? I thought this was about being friends. The tension in here. If someone is listening to their very first episode of HF Pod, they're like, do these people like each other?
No, we love each other. That's why we can do this.
Yeah. I'm trying to make a move here. I'm trying to decide what my move is because I have it mapped
hard.
out, and now that I'm reading it, I'm like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with it because as I'm looking through here, like 815 is going to carry me a lot. And if I get even the third pick, my third choice in 4 of the remaining categories, I'll feel pretty happy about what that third
Yeah.
pick is. So for those
Hear
of you
that.
listening at home, like the 2 ways you can go about this as Meg described, which was really accurate and way too insightful because now I'm really scared, was you can either be defensive and pick strong shows in weak categories or be offensive or go on the offense, be aggressive and pick just great shows and know like whatever, like the weaker categories will speak for themselves later. I think I'm going to try to go with the defensive move here.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of 90s NBA. RJ, you know what I'm talking about? Just like dudes' asses and dudes' hips and like elbows, and just like you don't get to score a point. That's the point of this game. You don't get to score. Like 67 to 64 Eastern Conference playoff games. Meg, you know what I'm talking about? Like Patrick Ewing type of shit.
Totally. Yeah, I was just going to say
Anthony
Ewing.
McKee.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
McKee.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
Brian, I was thinking about this yesterday when I was playing basketball because I was wondering if it's an age generation thing because the way that I play and the inside of someone's trying to post up is my hips are like pushing like
Yeah.
right. I'm like sideways pushing them with my hips outward
That's
to try
the
to out position them. And I'm like, maybe
That's
this is
the
like
move.
not how people teach it anymore.
Wait, but do
When
other people
I-
not do that?
Everyone's so finesse driven now, and it's all about
Yeah.
the three, and it's such bullshit.
Oh.
Yeah, there's not as much like kind of pushing now. No?
Steph
It's
Curry
more like
ruined
stylized.
basketball is really what happened.
Yeah,
And
by being
on my
so
other
good.
podcast, the Helping Friendly Basketball Pod, we can talk a little bit more about my feelings on modern
Okay,
basketball.
sorry, go ahead. I interrupted your monologue.
No, you're good. And
Good
Evie
to
dude here with defense wins championships. Absolutely right. You look at great NFL football teams like the 2000 Ravens, the 85 Bears. These are all defensive minded teams that then go on the offense. So I think I'm going to go with this strategy. I'm already sensing a text from Ryan Storm telling me I picked the wrong show, and I'm already like a little aggressive about that. So maybe I'll use that aggression here. So I got 2 picks. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do first. This is my second favorite show in the MSG category, and I think it's a pretty steep drop off after this. So I would not want to be stuck with one of these other shows. So I'm going to go here with 1231. I think overall, this is a really great New Year's Eve show. It's not last year. It's not what was the last like great one? 2017, 2015, 2013, but it's a really solid show. You get a Mike's Groove in the first set, a solid stash, great little split up in a melt, not super deep, but great enough. Squirming Coil with some Page commentary at the end, an extended piano solo. We had to tell all of our friends in our house to shut up during that part because it's my wife's favorite part of like any Fish show. Really fun stuff. Second set, you get a great near 20-minute, my friend. Awesome sand, very much in line with what RJ was talking about, the 830 version. Like, doesn't get outside of the pocket, but just gets so weird inside of there. Killer Golden Age, Into What's the Use. And then this third set, I guess it's been controversial. I don't know. I don't really know what's controversial about it, but you get a sick Pillow Jets like art display that looks like we've like traveled back in time to the Renaissance with Fish. Like there's like weird eyes wide shut orgies happening everywhere while they're playing that song. Amazing stuff. Auld Lang Syne. And then what's going through your mind where Fish plays tribute to their EDM heroes. Maybe it's not your thing. I don't know if it's like my thing for Fish jamming like that all the time, but I thought it was pretty damn impressive and really fun at, what was that, like 10:15 at night here in Denver. That segues into Chalk Dust. Really nice. Great Patient Slave. Awesome life-saving gun. Would have liked to have had that in a little bit more of like a showcase spot, but like still really good stuff here in set 3. And then an Iculus in the encore. How rare, Meg, how rare is an Iculus to get? Do you know?
Fuck you, Fish. Yeah, so mean. I don't know. You can see Fish for 30 years and never see an Iculus. It's crazy.
It is. It's how I feel about Albuquerque. And
Yeah.
Mark, who's in the chat here, makes a good point. It's okay. The gag was great. 1229 took the weekend throw.
Yeah, for
I think that's
sure.
absolutely right. I think RJ wins this category
For sure.
hands down. I'm just making a defensive move here, trying to put myself in a position where I can at least feel good about myself going into round 3. So I want to make another defensive move here.
Oh,
because
God,
I think
I'm
there's
so
another.
nervous.
I'm scared.
Me too.
Scared.
I'm scared.
There's another run that I think Evie do to spot on. I'm just trying to sell this to the people.
No,
Making the best
totally.
argument. All right. I think there's another run here that was a little, I don't want to say subpar because there's still some really great highlights, but has one clear, very above average. I think I have it in tier 2. Really good show. And I'm just double checking it on paper here. So hold.
I know what you're doing here, Brian. You want me to make the pick for you?
Nope. I got it.
Okay.
It is 1027 night 3 from Albany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great show. This show has, I'm just organizing everything before I tell you about it. It's Going Through Your Mind, randomly played in the second slot. Access Me for the first time since August 31st, 2019. Really cool. My friend. My Sweet One. Come on. I'm not going to argue with that. Limb, Mountains, Kill Devil Falls. Great Kill Devil Falls late in the first set. Really sick jam. But then the second set, the Everything's Right into Chalk Dust is some of the best playing of the entire year. That Chalk Dust Torture is one of the top 15 jams of the year, I want to say. Mercury waiting in the, and then Most Events Aren't Planned. And then we get a 4-song, really solid encore in Gotta Jaboo, Waste, Bug, Character Zero. Are there better shows out there? Yes. And I'm holding out hope that I can still get some of them. But I really wanted in these 2 categories to have 2 very strong shows rather than have to pick the third show from one of these. So that's what I got. I feel all right now.
I think it's a good move.
Yeah, those are really good moves. I mean, 1027. I think there's another one that's close to it, but I think this one does beat it out. It's epic. I mean, this finally getting like a jammed out Mercury too. Fun.
Right. Yeah, that
Mhm.
happened. Are you talking about from Albany at large? You think that there's one other really solid show?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I
I
do
mean,
too.
yeah, I do.
I
That I wasn't
would
sure
agree.
like which one was on top, but I did settle on the 27th being a little above.
I feel good about it. We'll see what happens. I've got 4 more picks left here to round out my draft. Again, RJ and Meg, you guys are sitting in really good places, so I hope you don't mess it up.
Can I ask a question about the technicality of this?
Sure.
Because I do
You want to pick 2 shows from Dick's? Is that what you're asking?
no. Is it I seriously don't know this. Like, who's next and how many? Like, do I get 1 pick next or 2? RJ, are you next or am I next?
I'm next. I never get
RJ's
2 picks.
next.
And you
RJ
get
gets
1,
1
and then
pick.
I get 2.
Yep. You and
Yep.
I are in the turns.
Okay. Thank you.
We are the snake. Like, you know how a snake kind of coils itself?
Yeah.
So
I have a
we are
snake
each side.
bracelet on today, so that's
Well,
perfect.
that would be helpful to reference that when
See how it turns at places.
It's really
All right.
cool. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
RJ, what do you got?
I'm in between 2 things, but I think I have to. I think I got to go with the strategic move instead of the move that I want to make, which is
That's the tough thing about the draft.
Yeah.
it is. But I'm gonna go with 222 Mexico.
Nice.
This is the risk I
'Cause
took.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's the second best show of the run. I don't want to be stuck with one of the others, honestly. No offense, Brian. I know you were there and had very much fun. But
Great
for an
time.
opening night 2-set show, like this is
Fantastic.
pretty
Absolutely.
awesome. This is pretty awesome. I guess the Wednesday was one long set, right? And did we?
Yes.
Is that on there? It is on there. Okay, but that
Mhm.
just like kind of fell off the radar. Nobody has to pick that, so it's okay.
Mm-mm.
But I think like first of all, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is so much better than Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in terms of Mexico.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Flying back on Sunday, and then I took Monday
Totally.
off, and I didn't have anything until Tuesday. It was incredible.
We stayed the extra day on Sunday and then flew back Monday
Good call.
with like day
Oh,
to
that's
just like
nice.
hang
Yeah.
out.
Good call.
Didn't you do that too, Megan?
I don't remember. No, I went home.
Yeah.
I always go home on like when I have to
Yeah.
right away. Annoying,
Okay.
but I do. Yeah.
Well,
I do go back to work.
I think I think
Sucked.
I thi-
I actually came late and left right away. It's
Sorry.
unfortunate.
well, you
Yeah,
had fun while
it's
you were
okay.
there.
I had a great
If I do
time.
it again, I will stay the extra day, because
Yeah.
even with the early show on Sunday, you get back to your hotel, you're not asleep until 11. And if you have an early flight, like that bus picks you up at like 5:15, like you're not ready for it. There's so much
Yeah.
walking to that bus. And then the Mexico
bus, man.
airport is like, just, they blast the AC. You're so cold and tired all at once. It was the
And you
one,
have
like,
to get and you have to get food poisoning from one of those restaurants.
There's
the-
the,
and the food
grossest
is so
food in that
expensive.
airport. It's
I think
so
I paid
gross, too.
$50 for my Starbucks, like vacuum
Disgusting.
warmed up breakfast sandwich.
So bad.
Well, but back to 222. Great show, as
Yes.
as EV Dude says here. Where did was that before that? Oh yeah, Birds Onward is so elite. So
Yes,
you-
that's actually, I totally agree. I'm cutting you off, RJ, but that is the
Yeah,
start
clearly.
right at that Birds all the way through until like the first set of the Saturday show is just like some of the best consecutive sets of fish like I'd heard in so long. It was amazing.
really incredible that you have like 4 15+ minute jams in a set and a quarter. Like it's just there's a lot.
Crazy.
There's so much. The Birds of a Feather's 20. The Axel is like 12 to close the set, which is awesome. But then you get this obviously really long wave of hope, which is it's interesting, Brian. You said you don't think there's as much going on there as there is with the Chalk Dust.
No, I think from Birds On, it's outstanding. It was that
Yeah.
first part of the show. So sorry for a side note here. There's always going to be one.
There is.
When my soul started, my wife looked at me and she was just like, well, at least we're in Mexico. Because to that point, the night before show and this show is just kind of like, it was fun. It was a fish show. And I said, I'm going to go get a taco and get a drink. And I walked over and I start to get cell phone service back. And I'm starting to get texts from all of my friends being like, are you ever going to get a jam? Are they actually going to jam for you in Mexico? And like everyone kind of everyone was feeding the beast. And then as I was walking back, they started birds and I kind of just shrugged my shoulders. And then, my ears started perking up as I was like, ooh, where are we going? Oh, that's not the same. Oh my God, what is and then Axela goes off into this like crazy, just like mind fuck of an atmospheric interstellar space jamming. And then they ended it without peaking it. And I was like, we are here. It is happening. This is a great show. I had Mexico as my number 4 round, my number 4 pick for myself, hoping that one of these shows lingered, and they absolutely should not have lingered because 222 and 223 are some of the best fish I've ever seen. And you're absolutely right to pick this, RJ. Great pick, RJ. Meg, thanks for tearing my heart out. RJ, great pick.
Thank you, Brian.
Unbelievable.
What a good-
I'm hoping everybody sees the double standard here.
oh yeah, here we go. There we go. Shout out to all the people in the chat, especially the teachers. There are many teachers in the chat, and we have a teacher on the show. We have teachers in the chat. Thank you for teaching our children.
You guys are the lifeblood. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's intense to be back. Kids were really excited to be back at school today. It was intense.
We've just got another day of break here today. Wally goes back
That's
to school
insane.
tomorrow.
Like,
Just
when
fun.
are they
Yeah.
ever going back?
Well, they decided not to give them raises. They just gave them more days off. It's really, really cool strategy. Helps everyone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everybody wants like the same amount of money and less time at work. Like, I think teachers definitely always need more money. That's offensive.
Megan, you have 2 picks.
I know. I'm really like hemming and hawing here because I can't decide if I should just keep playing aggressively or start to play a little defense here. It's, I've already
You've been
lost
playing
in one
aggressively?
category. Unbelievable. Yeah,
Megan,
I have
can I
been,
give you-
Brian. I just haven't had a pick in like 10 minutes. Yeah, what's
Can
up,
I give you
RJ?
two like motivational speaking mantras?
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, one is what got you here won't get you there.
Okay,
Okay.
I don't really get that, but okay.
Well, I'm just it's a saying like you're, what
have to
got
switch it up?
what got you here, what like not everything that gets you to where you are is going to work for getting you to the next place. That's one mantra.
You've got to adapt.
So you're
gotta
telling me to play defensively.
Play whatever you think
I'm
you
giving
need
you
to play.
I'm giving you a motivational quote, and I'll give you another motivational quote.
Okay.
If you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll find your way to where you're going.
True. I agree with that.
I just wanted to give you
Thought
some
by RJB.
some quotes. I found them on the internet. I'm trying to keep you give you 2
Did
paths.
you just Google motivational thoughts?
Totally. I feel like you did. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
we shouldn't delay her any further. She has time to go.
That's
Sorry. Okay. I'm going to split it. I'm going to do one aggressive and one defensive move. How about that? Here is my aggressive move. I would like to have the strongest show from the Sphere. So I'm going to pick 421. And I'm picking that because I think it's the best show from the Sphere. You've got this mini jam in the plasma opener. Like, remember how cool that was? They had like music that sounded like plasma, and then they came out and they played plasma. You've got the Ghost, which is like this pretty jam, but with this like these insane giant robots. Like, those visuals are some of the most memorable of the whole run. Divided
Cool.
Sky, Giant Clouds, gorgeous solo from Trey, acoustic version of Shade. Hey Stranger was great. Huge, super long set 2 with a monster 34-minute Down with Disease. Psychedelic liquid metal lines like all through that disease. Incredible. It's just, you've got fun 2001 with drones. You've got a huge light with just like a straight bliss jam, beautiful Patient Peaks. You've got Trey like fumbling with the paper at the end saying thank you, just so charming. And then you have the Slave encore that mirrors the Everything's Right opener from night 1, making this full complete circle. Just fantastic show from the Sphere. So that's one of my picks. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's the 100% right pick. I think it's one of the best shows that happened this year. Yeah, the disease, like it's weird to say this about a 35-minute jam. Like it kind of stays standard for like 27 minutes, and then it like changes gears in the last like 6 minutes are some of the most riveting fish of the entire year. The light is wild. I'm a huge proponent of jams for jam's sake later in a set. You know, you have the big jam and then a couple songs later you get another one. Really into that. I think it has killer flow. The Ghost was one of those like, oh, this is what you guys can do with this screen. Oh my God. You know, like just like every night that seemed like they got more comfortable. It seemed like the visuals got stronger, and it seemed like they just like kept learning more about what they can do. And I think this is an outstanding pick, Meg. You have a really,
Thanks.
really strong lineup here of shows, and you know, from an offensive standpoint, you've put up like, you know, 25 points in the first like 6 minutes. This is great stuff.
Well, this is like where it turns for me, because I think I
This is where
have
you have
to
to play good defense.
Yeah, I've got to play good defense, and I don't know which category to play it in. I have to be honest, you guys have gotten in my head a little bit about Mondegreen. I'm not gonna lie.
What do you mean?
I can't tell if you've been like, is it goading me into picking 816 because you think it's a bad pick and you want me to pick it? Or because like, to be honest, the show part of that night, yes, you have talked about what was great about it, but that was the least kind of like the show that did the least for me in the moment outside of the Woodlands Jam. The first night and the third night were fantastic, super fun. But that middle show is kind of like, but then the Woodlands Jam is obviously one of my favorite things I've ever heard Phish play live. So it's confusing for me. And then I also don't know if I should play more defensively in another category that definitely has only one other strong pick. I don't know if I'm probably giving you too much.
No, I like hearing it. I think that if I were in your position right now, I would personally, well, I don't want to tell you that. No, you should just do whatever you feel like. I'm just realizing we're still competitive in a couple categories, and
Yeah.
I don't really want to talk about it. Sorry.
Okay, fuck it.
You just
I know what I'm gonna do.
Go with your heart. Go with your heart.
I'm gonna actually. It's so boring to play defensively. Like being aggressive is so much more fun.
Do
it. No, I'm gonna play defensively in this category because I think it's important too. I've already lost one category. Okay, just let me look at one more thing. So I don't want to lose 2 categories. I guess I could lose 3, but okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pick from the Albany run. I'm playing defensively. It's so boring. I'm gonna pick 1025. I think this is the second best show of this run. Obviously, you have this beautiful Box of Rain opener. I'll never forget when I saw Mike come out with the wristband on in tribute to Phil Lash. It was so emotional and beautiful, and one of my favorite Grateful Dead songs. And just to hear them come out and play that was just, I wished I was in the room so bad. You get a funk party in Free, really tight, connected Wolfman's. Stand absolutely ripped. At the end, Paige was just going off and just like really mirroring like great communication in that song. Second set has like 40 minutes of really good connected jamming in 3 different songs. Each one has a different vibe, different feel, really solid show. And I think gets pretty close to 1027.
Yeah, I think this show, just running back to the set list here, I think that this show, it's got really good flow and it's got fun playing. I think the Piper Light Tweezer is outstanding. Ghost being in the encore was super fun. Box of Rain was obviously really special. I think that this run kind of was similar to MSG in the sense that it was really fun with a couple really, really great moments. And I think you did the best that you could do.
Yeah.
Good pick, Meg. Thank you for not making me pick in that category.
You're welcome. We basically, some of us have to lose one category.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right? Like it's just kind of like, yeah.
That's kind of the charm of this draft. Like with the 25-minute jam, all you had to do was take other people's jams and you won because everyone's going to do good jams. Tweezer jam. You just had to not take. Which one did Matt take? Which ones? 12, 30, 17 one.
Yep.
You know, like
Yeah.
you just had to like
Right.
zero in on all these great tweezers. Like this, you can actually lose rounds.
Yeah, because there's just only 4 shows or 3 shows, you know. Yeah.
Megan, we got our friend the Incredible Perp requested another quote. Megan, do you know what the best offense is?
What's that?
A good defense.
Okay, well, there we
So,
go. I split it up.
there you go.
So
You-
I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I shout
Great.
out to the Incredible Perp. It was really great to see him at our
Yeah.
happy hour. So thanks for coming. Love running into you.
Haven't you guys seen like PNC Bank commercials about how awesome boring is? Like this like
No.
guy walks around and like he's just like investing money and he's just like, you know what boring creates? Like new jobs, vacations to Cancun, like a dream home, all this sort of stuff. It's like, you know what? Like boring's okay, Meg. You don't have to like not everything has to be exciting.
Are you saying my list is boring, Brian?
I'm saying your list is very exciting and going with a boring move is actually sometimes a smart thing to do.
All right. Boring is awesome. You guys heard it here.
There's a guy named Merrill Reese. He's the voice of the Eagles on the radio. He's 82 years old. He's been doing it for 50 years, I think, maybe longer. He's from right near where I live, and PNC is sponsoring the Eagles like radio broadcast this year. So every single time the Eagles go to commercial, you hear this 82-year-old guy with an amazing radio voice say, "PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865." That's the tagline.
Oh, amazing.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
You
I
know.
love it.
Okay, I'm gonna take what I'm next, right?
You're
Yeah.
next. You got one pick.
Great. I'm gonna take what I think is the best summer tour show, which is 8-4 from Deer
Great
Creek.
pick.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think
Great
it's
pick.
I think there's some like I think it's the top of that tier. A real 4-song second set, not one where you can take one out and still be a 4-song second set. So, but
Not a
that
fake
you
one.
know 58 minutes of jamming to start set 2 between Ghost and Soul Planet, with 2 totally different jams, but just amazing music. That whole run is incredible. But I don't really like the first set, like on paper, you know, like I think Knuckle Bone Broth Avenue is probably my least favorite Fish song. 46 Days is up there, but it's a good version. But like the 46 Days McGrupp Wingsuit, I think is a great combo. Like musically, I think it all
Mhm,
works. It just doesn't look good on paper. And a decent antelope for, you know, where we are in history. But this second set is just amazing with a like really nice, long, weird split up in a melt to close the set. I think this is a great show. So taking it.
That first set is literally though like every song I never want to hear at a Fish show
Yep.
like played back to back.
Yep.
And I remember like I was getting ready to go to Grand Rapids and I was like, perfect. Like this is a great show to have before my show. And
It's
then
true.
the second set happened and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that second set is like a perfect set of Fish. Just absolutely perfect.
Yep. And
Monumental.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Soul Planet is even like better probably than the Ghost, which is crazy because the Ghost is like 32 minutes. It doesn't even really make
So
sense.
good.
It's
I
kind
was
of
listening to
outrageous.
that this morning. It's so good. Yeah.
So good.
That Ghost is
Kind of
awesome.
yin and yang. Like that Ghost is very slow and
Mm.
exploratory, and then that Soul Planet is just like supercharged. He hits that riff just over and over again. There was a great camera shot I remember from the peak of Soul Planet. It was like the drone camera that comes up behind the band, so you could see everyone in the pit, and people were just losing their goddamn minds. It was so cool. That's a killer show, man. That was my number 2 pick for summer tour. You guys did good there. 7:30 and 8-4. Those are 2 excellent summer tour picks. Awesome stuff. RJ here. Let's just do a quick recap before I go.
Yeah.
I've got 8:15 Mondegreen, 10:27 Albany, 12:31 MSG. RJ has 2:22 Mexico, 8:4 Deer Creek, 8:30 Dix, 12:29 MSG. RJ's looking
Fuck,
really,
RJ,
really good right
that's
now.
fucking good.
That's a good list.
That's a fucking good list, man.
Meg has 2:23 Mexico, 4:21 Sphere, 7:30 Summer Tour, 7:30, excuse me, St. Louis, and 10:25 Albany. That's a very, very strong list as well. I know exactly what I'm going to do now. This has
Oh, God.
broken to a point that I
Oh, God.
know my
But it's
move.
like almost over, Meg. How can you still be nervous?
I don't know. I'm nervous still. Okay. What are you doing, Brian?
It's like she's taking a final exam and she's just like, wait, there's a whole nother section. What the hell?
Exactly. Come on. I made it this far.
It's like she's taking a final exam, but she's already like gotten early admission to Yale. You know,
Right,
Come on.
right,
Yeah,
right, exactly.
that just is exactly what it feels like.
stressful.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my
um,
God.
all right. So I need to go on the offense is really what needs to happen here. But let
Ooh.
me just
There we
walk
go.
you through.
Okay.
So I have the last pick in Mexico and summer tour. Nobody can make a pick there. I feel moderately fine about what I'm going to do. Those will be later picks. I've got Mondegreen. I've got the best show, unquestionably, of Mondegreen. Nobody can even come close to 8:15.
He's pushing it so hard. Oh my God.
I have the absolute best show of Albany. There's no way that anyone can compete with me in that category. And I have the
Disagree.
second best show of MSG. Without question,
Agreed.
there's no way that a single person could pick a show that's in any way better than
I
what
thought you
have.
wanted to hurry this up, Brian.
What? So I'm gonna go with Dix first, and I'm gonna go with RJ's so angry he's leaving. You already picked Dix. I'm
It's
gonna
me.
go.
I'm who's screwed. No, just kidding.
I
Dix
know,
was so
I
good.
know.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry to let my dog out, guys. Okay,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
making a video joke about RJ getting
know.
up and leaving.
I know.
All right, I'm gonna go with 8:31, night 3,
Nice.
and not just because it was my 100th show, and not just because it was my son's first show, but because you get some of us over here really like the song 46 Days and think it sounds
Yeah,
like
me
Fish.
too.
Thank you. It's chunky, it's groovy, it's
a great song.
Americana, and then it goes into this cool 46 Days jam. We get Oblivion that has a really, really cool jam off it. I want to say that jam's like 15, 16 minutes, something like that. It's really solid for the second song of the show. Axilla into Gin, great Gin jam, like this like weird, like CBGB punk, like television type groove, like Talking Head stuff. It was very cool. Undermine, Maze, Free, Most Events Aren't Planned, solid stuff. That's a decent second quarter. And then you get this segment in the second set after the Loving Cup opener, 25-minute Kill Devil Falls, 15-minute What's Going Through Your Mind, 12-minute Cross-Eyed and Painless, Split Open and Melt. We'll excuse the fact that Trey played Monsters after that, Carini, and then you get a Bug First Tube encore. It's an amazing, slightly uneven. Nothing could be like 8:30. That is the show. Whoever got 8:30 in this category won that category.
For sure.
But this is as good as you could get for number 2. And for me, this was night 3 of Dix. Like, we'd had 3 solid nights at this point in time and 2 really, really good shows. Like, what could go wrong? Even a lightning storm couldn't screw things up. Oh, wait, they came back and they played Doglog and they played a 25-minute Set Your Soul Free. I mean, I was in heaven. Amazing stuff. All right, so I've locked that up. Dix 8:31. Second place is pretty good in that position, in that one. I feel good there. So I'm going to go to the Sphere here. Okay. You guys ready for this?
Wait,
Sure.
I think Brian, someone wants you to address your
Yeah,
monster slander.
I want to. And before you do, I just want to say this is the new About to Run. It's Trey at his most shreddy. It's going to be there, and it's going to be Trey, really like just playing the guitar emotionally in the most intense way possible. So if you're not into that, then
sell your tickets. Don't go to the fish
Yeah.
shows. What are you gonna say to me? What do you got? What do you
more
got?
room,
Huh?
more
What
room
are you
for me
gonna
to
do?
dance,
More
bro.
room?
I have to say, I heard this song 2 shows I saw with RJ this year. I don't know, did I see 3? RJ, did I see all your shows with you? I saw 2, and both of them we were standing next to each other during Monsters, and both times we were both like headbanging like crazy and just like, yes, Trey, lay it on us. So, but yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm really happy for you guys. I think it's a pretty schmaltzy,
Really happy for you
cheesy
guys.
song. I agree.
There's some cheesy
solo
parts
is
for
good.
sure.
I don't really like the
Never.
lyrics. I don't love the chord structure. I do like the solo that sounds like David Gilmour. I'm into that.
Yeah.
But, is it the new About to Run? I don't know, man. I think of About to Run as like Trey channeling Ditch Trilogy, Neil Young. I don't really hear that
Mm.
in Monsters, but if you want to
I
find me
just
like
mean
a
the solo.
comparison Ditch Trilogy song that sounds like Monsters, I'm here to say I'm wrong.
It's
They
more
really
of a,
should just play about to run though.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
it's
they
more of a
should.
Gilmore
Wow.
thing.
I'm
Okay.
about to run. So
All right, so
good.
my second pick in this category or in this round, I'm gonna go the Sphere. I think the Sphere had one outstanding show and three very good shows that were moderately like tiered off from each other. And I think that the second best night of the Sphere was 420, which
I
gave
agree.
us thank you. We got a really solid, really cool little tube jam. Very good stash. Pillow Jets with some of the best visuals of the entire run. A 15-minute jam that like really perfectly accompanied that. Very cool, slightly jammed out steam. Mountains in the Mist with the mountain landscape behind them. The Taste. Oh my god, dude! Like
My
you
God.
talk about emotional moments watching this the stream of the Sphere shows when you realize that it was the live fish covers behind. Like I
No,
started
that was
crying. I know it was unbelievable. Great 30-minute Fuego where Trey is playing in a matchstick, like, and it's burning the entire Sphere down. Cool Golden Age twist. Hydrogen, which was played outside of Mike's group for the first time since October 31st, 1987. Had to get an 80s reference in there. You guys know it. And then, we get just a solid Choctaw Santos Life Beyond the Dream Tweezer Reprise encore. Like nothing crazy. But the first set I think is the strongest set of this overall show, but that combined with the Fuego, combined with the novelty of the Hydrogen, I think it's just a really outstanding all-around show. I don't think it's beaten 421, but I do think that it is a respectable show to have here playing offense/defense. That's what I got.
Yeah, great pick. That would have
Man.
been my second
Thank you.
pick in that category for sure.
Thanks,
That
Meg.
Taste, honestly, like that moment
Oh.
is, I'll probably never forget it. That was
Yeah.
Oh
really
my
beautiful. Mhm.
The
I don't,
imagery is amazing.
it was incredible. And the Fuego and Choctaws are two of my favorite jams from that run.
Yeah, I think I would have the Disease a little bit above the Fuego, but it's up there. That theme they get into is very, very cool stuff.
Okay, so that's another category where I don't have to pick, which is good.
Yep.
So I don't have to really do anything except one. And I mean, I can't believe that we're in this situation that we're in right now, because we're in a situation where there's two of the three of us who've been talking incessantly since August about the power of the Woodlands Jam. And the go ahead, Brian.
I don't think you should take this show.
Do it, Brian. Do
That's
it.
awesome.
I don't think you should take this. I think you should
No.
take the next night. I think the
Well,
next
no, I
night's
mean,
a little.
They're really okay. So they're comparable shows. This is the conversation we're having it because Megan's going to get the other one. So and I like Megan. She's cool. So I'm trying to figure out what's right here. But I think the 17th has like the second set is amazing.
Amazing. In the moment, it was pure gas the whole time. Pure gas.
I think I like the 16th. I like the 16th a lot. I mean, I think that the show, I actually think, despite the fact that it's my wife's favorite song, I think A Divided Sky like really takes away from a show in terms of like a pick like this. Like it's like it
just
like
takes up a lot of real estate.
Yeah, it's like a 30% of a set that whatever. But you get like the My Friend, the No Man, Ruby Waves. Those are all like respectable jams. And then I actually think the Your Pet Cat back into Ruby Waves is kind of interesting. And then I don't know, but I am going to take this show because I do think that the Mondegreen Secret Set, as it's called on Live Fish, is the most interesting thing that they did all year. And I think I've told you guys this, I'm not a big late night set person in that I don't go back to them a lot, but this I think is the most interesting one that they've done, at least since the Tower Jam, probably. I think it's the most unique one that they've done musically since then. I didn't think the drive-in set was like, I don't know, just some of them just didn't work for me. But I think this is the most interesting thing musically they've done all year. So I'm going to take 816.
Yeah.
I just would
I
like
mean,
to read the Fish Diner Jam chart for the Ruby Waves. Bananas. There's possibly something like 6 or whatever key changes. Fish arguably performs a parody of a Type 2 Fish song. While there may be segments one might not recommend, it's almost as if there's willful shit in this version, and so perhaps you'd wreck it all. It's crazed. The ending might leave you thinking, what the fuck, too? And an awesome segue into Pillow Jets. Great stuff. I've been pushing this show for a couple of days now, and I'm glad that you got it.
I think the Woodlands Jam I'm not going to, I don't even think that the show is that great, but I do think that the Woodlands Jam is worth having in my corner for this particular exercise.
I mean,
love
I
how
really
strategic you guys
feel,
are.
I know, I really feel like confused about my strategy here because the Woodlands Jam is unbelievable. I listened to it again last night when I was reading. It's just a masterful piece of art. It's so good. But I don't think the show holds up anywhere near the other two. And so it's challenging. And yeah, I don't know. I can't tell if I got a little bit in my head about this. Maybe someone else's fault or not. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't pick it. And it's weird because now I have to pick Mondegreen and MSG, 2 shows out of those runs that that's not true about Mondegreen, but MSG for sure. It's fine. I can't wait to defend 1230 this year. It's fucking great.
I just hold on, but for voting purposes, you guys are talking about this as if the Woodlands Jam is not part of the show, but in fact,
it is
for this exercise. It is.
And
so
it is. No, I'm saying it is.
It's a third set.
I know, but it's like when you think about the whole entire show, but I agree that it's so good it trumps whatever came before too. And the show was good, but it was, yes, I agree. And it was played very shortly after. I barely had time to get a slice of pizza. I did lose my favorite bandana of all time. And then I had to like make it back to hear them play. It was very fast. So it was indeed part of the show.
It's part of the show. It's third set.
Luckily, I didn't know about that bandana until later, but yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay.
Brian,
it's okay.
Who wouldn't want a 3-set show on their draft?
I mean, I think that the Woodlands Jam is one of the greatest jams that the Fish has ever played. I think incorporating the technology of the Sphere in improvisational jamming is really what what I would kill for this band to do on like a tour basis. Like, come on, I'd go see that. And they prove it in the moment. Oh my God, what an art project! Great pick, RJ.
I'm so fucked.
Actually, you know what? Sorry,
you can't change your pick.
No. I'm looking at the picks.
You totally can if you want to. That's allowed.
I'm looking at the picks. We're done with the competition. There's one left for each person in each category. So let's lightning round this, Brian.
Right? Yeah, we can do this quick.
Because there's no strategery left.
No strategery left. Nope.
No, like everyone's got 3 really good shows and then some defensive shows. And so now we can just kind of pick a little bit from the heart, Meg. You can pick from the heart, pick whatever you want. If you want 1228, nobody's going to take it from you.
Yeah, exactly. No, since we're on Mondegreen, I'm just going to defend 817 because what a vibe show. You know, we had just come down from the Woodlands Jam. It felt like it had just happened. We come out to the show and I am standing right near the soundboard and there is a huge opening beach ball bonanza on Page Side to celebrate that Mike's opening. Just so fun, like exactly the vibe that you wanted a festival. Theme was really great, had some extra sauce. Gata Jabu has like a little tiny thing to it. And then Bowie, it kind of actually flirts with jamming. It's like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And set to relentless energy, wild improv, dance party vibes. I was with the most unbelievable crew. I was with like Amir, Brahma Noodles. I was with Kieran Edwards. I was with Ryan. I had like the best crew. We were dancing and having an absolute blast. I had such a fun night. And I think this is a killer third show at Mondegreen. So there you go.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I think you made the right pick.
Well, I didn't really have a choice, but thank you.
Well, no, overall, I think that this is the second best show from Mondegreen. I've been pushing 860
Mm.
strategy to get in your head in hopes that you would take it
I
first.
knew it.
Um,
I knew it.
So I just want to reveal myself here, be completely upfront and honest with you guys. If you put the Woodlands Gem in this show, it is a tier 1 fish show for the year. RJ's absolutely right to have taken the Woodlands Gem. I totally get it. That is a killer pick, and the Ruby Waves, another great thing. But Meg, you passed the test. Well done, finally.
This is like
Two-
in Willy
2 year
Wonka
long
when they're
test.
like, you have to like, are you gonna try it? Are you gonna break the rules? Brian's like been goading. I knew it. I knew you were trying to fuck with me about 816. I feel so validated right now. Okay, so I passed the test. Okay, sorry.
You didn't get sucked up the
No,
chocolate chute. You didn't
did
turn
not.
into a blueberry.
And Brian wouldn't try that with me because he knows I don't really listen to his arguments anyway.
No, I
So,
make these like long-winded arguments. RJ just goes like, "Yeah, okay."
And I'm
the
like,
worst.
what is this? Analyzing it to death.
Slug work.
Such an idiot. You're slug work.
my God.
Exactly. I'm just glad that you admitted it on air because I feel like what was going to happen
can't
is
hide
because
it.
you were going to admit this in a text later and I was going to be furious and no one would believe me. So thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Megan, what are you going to do next?
I mean, I think I'll just go and since I'm defending shows that were awesome that I was at, I'm going to go for 12:30. You know, it doesn't have the juice that
'Holiest night?
12:29
Hi,
had.
baby.
Let me just tell you, the magic came together. My friends and I got on the floor. We had the sickest group of people around us. We have a great Wolfman. It's got some nice soloing from Trey, energetic build. Tweezer, funk jam to launch, super tight. Paige is like, can we make it interesting? Not really. Downward Disease, great to dance to in the room. The jam, you know, could have really gone a little bit somewhere else to me, but I got Winter Queen, Seven Blow. Haven't heard them in a long time. Great, fun show. It's a fun show. And I have it on my list now.
Amazing Harry Hood. And
The Hood was
outstanding
great. You're
disease.
right.
I thought
Absolutely
the disease was
beautiful.
outstanding. I don't know why you don't like that disease. I loved it.
I don't know. It's good. I just feel like it just doesn't like get anywhere for me, but I don't know. I'll listen again.
So we have closed
Um,
off 2 categories here. I have 1231 MSG. RJ has 1229. Meg has 1230. I have 815 Mondegreen. RJ has 816. Meg has 817. RJ,
Yeah.
unless you have something more to say about 1230, Meg, RJ is next.
No, I'm good.
No, but I'm going to take what I think was the best show of the Albany run, which is Saturday, 10/26. We got
Oh, I love
actually,
it.
I think all I want to say is that this I think that bathtub gin that's toward the end of the first set is one of the good, like that's one of the highlights of the weekend of the
Agreed.
Albany for me. It's like very, very locked in, really, really good. Just like really good full band jamming. So I'm gonna take 10/26 for only because of that bathtub gin. But we do get another. I mean, how many 15 plus Ruby Waves, 15-minute plus Ruby Waves do they played this year? 100.
It's endless.
And this is like
Endless.
Yeah.
another one here, and you get a Harry Hood set closer in set 2. What a beautiful Saturday show! The one that I wanted all along, and I got it. So I'm happy.
Really, really good Fuego. Really outstanding Fuego.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
best, one of the best jams of that run. Awesome stuff.
All right,
It's a good pick.
Brian.
All right, I'm up. So
You got 2.
I've got 2 more picks, and then am I
Wow.
down here after this? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
you're
think
done.
so. Yeah.
All right, so I'll just go chronologically here, as one does. Just pulling up the set list so I have something to reference here.
Yes. One always
Um,
goes chronologically.
One does. I'm going to go 224 from Mexico. This show, I walked in. I was instantly sad. You know, like when you do something really fun and like time seems to stop and you're just like, I could do this forever.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. And everything we were doing, like we were in a rhythm. We knew when to take naps. We knew where to get food. We knew the best places to eat. I was churning through books. It was unbelievable. I was starting to make my top albums list. I was in peak form by like the end of 223 in Mexico. Plus I'd seen 235 plus minute long jams. Like I was like, why would I go back to work when I could just do this over and over again? The servers knew my drink, like everything was great. You know, it was amazing. And then, you know, we're getting dressed. It's like, oh, well, tomorrow we're going to be back home and we're going to have to be parents again. Oh, we're taking the golf cart ride over to the festival or to the beachside stadium. Like this is the last time we're going to do that. Once we leave the show, the vacation's over. It's really sad. And then what did the band do? They come out with the sun setting and they open up with an 18-minute long simple. Oh my God. Oh my God. So, and on top of that, they segue perfectly into Sanity. And then after that, they played Choctaws Torture Reprise for the first time since December 28th, 2019, 142 shows. My first one ever. I jumped like 10 feet in the air. And then after that, we get a huge, sick Wolfman's Brother. And then we get Mercy. And then we get Rift. And then we get a huge Bathtub Chin, like massive, one of my favorite jams of the year, Into Cavern. Second set, we get The Howling. I guess because it's a full moon, so I guess we got to do that. No Men's, solid. And then we get this Ruby Waves that, like, it's not even jam charted. What are you doing? Unbelievable. Last 5 minutes of this Ruby Waves. This is like the melodic stepsister of the Monda Green 816 Ruby Waves. Then we get Golden Age. We go back into Ruby Waves. This set falls apart a little bit, but then the encore, we get a 12-minute crazy 2001. I was so sad walking into the show and so happy walking out. And I was like, you know what? This band gave me everything I ever could have asked for. I don't need anything more from them. But you know what they did? They played a killer summer tour and I got 4 great dick shows. So, you know, everything was good in the end. So my next pick, my last pick.
Brian, I feel like you might deserve to win this draft just for how hard you are selling your picks in the third round. I'm just enjoying this tremendously.
I feel pretty good about my picks as they come together here. I don't sell anything to you guys. Come on. No, I'm joking. My last pick here, Summer Tour, is where I'm going, and I am going to go. I'm just double checking this before I make the call. GM is making sure is the pick in. Yes, 100%. 8/9/2024, Friday night at Bethel. This is a really outstanding show that I think in some ways gets a little bit overshadowed, which is strange to me. You guys want me to read this set list for you? Okay, nope. I'll read the set list for you. I won't read the whole thing, but you get a solid.
We both went.
My friend has another big jam. 2001 randomly towards the end of set 1. Second set, though, we've got Tweezer into Pillow Jets, into Tweezer, into Piper, into Tweezer, into Shine a Light, into Choctaws Torture, and then a Big Black Furry Creature from Mars, Gotta Jaboo, more encore. Zany stuff. As Megan would say, they could have played this one night of Monda Green and everyone would have been happy. So that's it. 8/9, Bethel, outstanding stuff. Put it in the books. I'm done.
Good, Brian. That was great, man. Wow. I wish I could live up to the hype. You know, I'm not in the hype man form today, but I will thank you both for giving me my favorite Sphere show, the one that I wanted all along.
Yes.
The one that I've wanted since I first heard it. All right, I'm gonna close it out with 419. I can't believe you guys left this on the table. The coolest start to a Phish show the entire year. They walk out while the pre-show music, which sounds like a free jam, and they start playing free, and the waterfalls of light come down from the fucking dome and come onto the walls.
So fucking sick.
So good.
Awesome. That was pretty cool.
Awesome.
No, but I think there are a couple of good jams from this show. The Axela is
great. Wave of
good Wave of Hope. Yeah, I'm happy with this.
You enjoy myself with the car wash and the dog.
Come on, the lick, the dog lick, it was everywhere.
Oh my God, I hadn't even gotten there yet. I was going to go through, but you guys kept talking about it, so I guess I'll stop now. Why don't you guys tell me why this show's so good?
It's a pretty good show. It's not as good as 421 or 420, but it's pretty good. Pretty good show. Pretty good show.
To each their own.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you got
This
a lot
the
of
show had the ocean themed, a song I heard the ocean
got a
sing
lot
in
of
Prince
underwater.
Caspian, really real underwater stuff. It was very
Yeah.
cool.
the beginning though, the free was really awesome. I'll never forget that. Okay, that's it.
That's it. Meg's got one more pick. She's got a pick from Dix. I hope she picks the right show, to be completely honest. I don't know if she will, but I hope she does.
Oh, we'll see if I pass
Many
this
people
test.
are talking about it.
My God.
Waterfalls of Light plus 3 points. I love
Yeah.
how EV dude
Thank
brought
you, EV.
around.
Yeah.
He
I
brought
like
around the
that.
horn into our draft. We might have
Yeah,
to start doing
he's
that.
rating us. Oh my god.
See,
I love
Now,
it.
now that they're canceling the show, maybe we'll see if Tony Reali wants to host our drafts. That would be pretty sick.
Oh man, that would be sick.
I don't know
I
what that
know.
means, but it sounds.
Nope, you don't. But pick the right show from Dix. I hope you do.
I got the dog lick sphere show, guys. That's all they need to know moving forward.
Yep. And your favorite jam of the year in the Woodlands Jam.
Yep.
So there you go, man. You are just
RJ, nice drafting,
crushing it.
RJ.
Thank you.
yeah, you're crushing it. Oh my God. Amazing.
We're gonna make Meg never want to do a draft again, or else she's gonna come back for our throats the next time we do this.
Yeah,
There's only one of
definitely.
two ways this is gonna go.
I'm slightly underprepared for this draft, but that will never fucking happen again.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I am going to go with The Last Night of Dix, 9/1/24, night 4, Doglog Bust Out, the longest my friend yet, inspired jam and life-saving gun rocking end to the set. Set to me lacked a little bit of flow, but I feel like it felt like a big celebration in the venue after one of the strongest Dix runs. Just the encore was a perfect joy explosion. And I think this show proves why, if you have bust outs and one monster jam, you take a show from feeling really average and ordinary and you turn it into, you kind of save it. You make it feel great. And this is a lesson that could have been put to use in Mondegreen night 4, day 4, whatever you want to say.
Man. Using a Sunday show for bust outs and unique songs, I think it's an interesting strategy.
What is
Yeah.
it? 2013 all over again? I am here for it, my man. My goodness, what a move! I think I would have gone with 829, but 891 is a very good pick. I was so
Well, it's
nervous.
funny. Go ahead.
I was just nervous going to the show because the last 2 Sundays at Dick's had not been very good, and this
Yeah.
turned out to be this was a really fun show. This was a really
Well,
fun show.
so I liked 829 a little bit better, but it is rated very low on .net.
Well, can't go with the community on these ones. You got to go with your heart, your gut. You know, they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
I know, but
It's like a Browns fan trying to tell you who to pick for quarterback next year.
I know, but sometimes like some of us don't remember everything that we all these shows, and you're kind of like, I want to see what people thought about that, and then you
Yeah.
look and you're like, wait, what? So it's a little confusing, but yeah, I think 829's killer too.
Sabotage bust out. Only jammed
Yeah,
out
I forgot
3
about
guys.
that.
Great
Amazing.
stuff. Great stuff. Oh my God. This is not an insult. Incredible perp. I'm just saying you're desperate to win. So you would just pick a quarterback, not thinking the full strategy.
Come on,
outside.
Brian. You gotta
My God.
just come on, you gotta know
All right.
your audience here. Okay.
So we go through this really quick. All right. I got 224 Mexico, 420 Sphere, 89 Bethel, 815 Mondegreen, 831 Dix, 1027 Albany, the best show of Albany, 1231 MSG. RJ got 222
Best New Year's show ever.
419 Sphere, 84 Deer Creek, 816 Mondegreen. Is that the right pick? We'll see. 830
The
Dix.
hits
Good
keep
pick.
coming, baby. Look at this.
1026 Albany and 1229
Saturday
MSG. That's a
rocker.
winner. And then Meg got 223 Mexico. That's a great pick. 421 Sphere. That's a great pick. 730 St. Louis. That's a great pick. 817 Mondegreen. I would have gone with 816. 91 Dix. I would have gone with 829. 1025 Albany. Okay, fine. 1230 MSG. Maybe I would have gone with 1228. I don't know. You, dear listener, tell us. Would we have gone
Please,
1230 or
Brian,
12?
don't even try to act like you would not have picked 1228. Okay.
Okay,
Great
you
stuff,
know what?
guys. What a successful draft.
Well, what we're gonna do this time, Megan.
What?
You sound scared. Okay. If you're listening to this, go to osirispod.com/vote and there you will be able to vote for the winner of this draft. We're taking this to
Okay.
another level.
So wait, I'm sorry. Say this again. Are you only allowing voting there?
No, you can spread the
Okay.
link to wherever you want. But you know what? Our listeners don't really get to vote unless they find you posting on social media, right?
This is a good
It's
point.
not me. It's HF Pod. Just to be
It-
clear, like
It disrupts.
I
the
love how
democratic
now I'm
system.
somehow
That's a
being
good
like
point.
punished for doing the work that nobody fucking else wants to do in
Meg,
running
Meg,
HF
Meg.
Pod
We're just
socials.
saying.
Oh
We're
my
just
god.
saying that people should have as many avenues to vote as possible. If you don't think
100%.
that they should have as many opportunities, that's your call. My call
So
would be
fucked
that
up.
everyone can vote as many places as they can.
I would
Okay?
just
Not as
like
many
our
times
listeners.
as they want to. You get one vote, but like
I would-
think that people should have an opportunity to make it as
No,
easy as
I-
possible to vote.
I would just like
Megan.
our listeners to know that this is what happens when you beat these boys at their game. They
Oh my
just
God.
crush you. Brian's
Oh
been
my
sending me
God.
texts that were like
Oh my
literally to get
God.
in my head for like weeks.
No,
It
we're
worked.
this is
It
all
worked. How
this is
dare
all
you?
for fun. This is all
She's-
for fun.
We're
Guys, it's
just
all for fun.
victimizing her over here. My goodness, we're ruining everything. Oh
I
my
know.
goodness.
And she didn't even get to prep. Sucks.
No, I did prep, and that's what's a little sad about it. No, I'm
No,
happy
you
with
did
my
great.
list. I'm
Yeah,
really
it was
happy with
awesome.
my list.
Amazing
Yeah.
year of fish.
Such
Great
a
year of
great year of
fish.
fish. Absolutely.
Great year of HF Pod.
Great year of HF Pod. We'll be
Really
back
was.
next week with a great interview plus a show that we will name at a later date.
Yeah, we can't wait. We'll keep you. I'll make sure to push that out on my socials shortly
To your followers.
to my followers only.
This is so great. All right, guys. Thank you. This was fun.
We'll
As
see you
always.
guys.
everybody.
Thanks everyone for hanging with
Goodbye.
us.